Imagine this. Prince Harry, once the world's favorite rebel prince, now broken and sleepless, haunted by a secret that could destroy his family forever. Sources say he confessed to his team. Meghan never carried Archie or Lilibet. It was DL, the erased surrogate with DNA proof, hospital records, and emails tying it all to the Sussexes. Born weeks early in secret Colorado hospitals, birth certificates faked to hide the truth, risking their royal titles and the entire succession line. Palace insiders are panicking as DL prepares to go public. Is this the end of the Sussex fairy tale? Watch the full explosive story now, you won't believe the evidence. Prince Harry has always been known for his openness and heartfelt nature. But lately, people close to him say he's gone beyond just feeling down. He seems deeply broken. He's restless, struggling to sleep, constantly scrolling through news and updates like someone bracing for bad news. One night, a legal advisor connected to Harry's team revealed that Harry finally opened up about a secret he'd been carrying. Meghan never actually carried their children. The story they shared with the public was what Meghan insisted on telling, and Harry agreed, thinking it was the only way to protect their family. Instead, that secret has become a crushing burden. Insiders at the palace now say Harry looks like he's unraveling from the inside. That moment was the first crack in the carefully built story. Once it appeared, the truth started to escape. This is where the real story takes shape, centered around a woman referred to only as DL to protect her identity because of legal reasons. DL says she was much more than a surrogate. She's the biological mother of both Archie and Lyatt. She claims to have proof, DNA evidence, official documents, emails, and hospital records that show the truth Meghan and Harry tried to hide. For years, DL lived quietly behind strict confidentiality agreements, told never to speak out or show her existence to the public. She was promised privacy, safety, and fair payment. But she says none of that happened. No final payment, no acknowledgement, not even a check on her well-being after giving birth. Instead, she was silenced and effectively erased. Now, DL refuses to be ignored any longer. To grasp how DL stepped into this whirlwind, picture late 2018, a time when whispers of royal drama were just starting to swirl. Life for DL was ordinary back then, steady but unremarkable, until a call came from an unexpected corner. It wasn't some random recruiter. It was a polished intermediary tied to an elite fertility clinic, the kind reserved for the ultra-wealthy who crave ironclad privacy. These places aren't your everyday medical spots. They are fortresses of discretion, where millionaires and moguls go to build families without a single headline leaking out. The voice on the line was calm, professional, laying out an opportunity that sounded like a dream gig at first. Assist a high-profile couple in welcoming their child, pocket a life-changing sum, and vanish into the background forever. No fame, no fuss, just generous pay for a generous act. DL paused. Of course. Who wouldn't? Motherhood through surrogacy isn't a casual choice. It's a profound commitment, body and soul. But the details hooked her. The compensation? 7 figures, upfront and more to follow, enough to rewrite her own future. The couple? Described vaguely as power players in entertainment and public life, with hints of global fame that piqued her curiosity without spilling names. The clinic? A gleaming facility in the US Rockies, far from prying eyes, boasting top doctors who specialized in invisible journeys. Privacy was the selling point hammered home. NDAs thicker than novels, legal teams on speed dial, and tech to scrub any digital footprint. Your role ends at delivery, they assured her. You'll be a ghost in the best way, safe, secure, celebrated privately. It felt noble, even heroic, helping create life for those who could afford the dream but not the spotlight. She mulled it over for days, talking it through with a tight circle of trusted friends, who later urged caution but saw the appeal. The world was changing fast. Surrogacy was booming among elites, from Hollywood stars to tech titans, all chasing kids without the mess of traditional roots. DL, in her early 30s, healthy and grounded, saw it as a chance to do good while securing her own path. Maybe pay off debts, start a business, or just breathe easier. By early 2019, she signed on the dotted line. The paperwork avalanche began, medical histories dissected, psych evals passed with flying colors, genetic screening to match the couple's wishes. Lawyers swarmed, crafting contracts that read like spy novels, clauses on diet, travel bans, media blackouts, even what she could name the pregnancy in her own mind. As matching progressed, hints emerged about the clients. The intermediary dropped casual clues, a British accent in the background of one call, preferences for organic everything echoing royal tastes, timelines syncing with tabloid buzz about a certain duchess expecting. DL connected dots but stayed silent, bound already by preliminary oaths. IVF cycles kicked off swiftly, embryos selected from the couple's donors, implanted with precision. She felt the first kicks in spring, a quiet thrill amid morning sickness and strict check-ins. The clinic staff, blinded to identities, referring to the parents only as client alpha. Payments flowed steadily, monthly stipends, housing upgrades, wellness retreats. DL relocated temporarily to a nondescript suburb near the facility, her world shrinking to ultrasounds, nutritionists, and encrypted updates like all progressing ideally. IP thrilled. But cracks showed early. Communications grew clipped, the intermediary dodged personal questions. Midway through, a new layer of secrecy. Couriers delivering sealed packets with eyes-only stamps. DL delivered Archie in a hushed Colorado hospital room. No balloons, no family rush, just efficient hands and a baby whisked away within hours. Postpartum? A blur of recovery checks, then abrupt radio silence on final payouts. She chased gently at first, emails bouncing, calls to voicemail. Months dragged into years. Promises evaporated. Lila's surrogacy followed an eerily similar script in 2021. Another quiet birth, another vanishing act. DL hoarded records instinctively. Sonograms time-stamped wrong for public eyes, payment stubs tied to Sussex-linked trusts, emails pleading for owed funds. By 2025, betrayal boiled over. No wellness calls post-births, no closure, just erasure. DL, once compliant, now saw the full picture. Her gift twisted into their facade. She lawyered up, piecing evidence into a dossier that could torch narratives. This wasn't vengeance. It was reclaiming agency. From that 2018 call to now, DL's path morphed from helper to whistleblower, exposing how elite secrecy devours the very lives it relies on. Her story spotlights surrogacy's shadows, exploitation masked as empowerment, where the real mothers fade while headlines crown others. It's a raw lesson. Even in glitzy clinics, humanity demands its due. And DL? She's done fading. Every detail of the paperwork was handled with the utmost care and secrecy. So much so that even the clinic staff were kept in the dark about who the intended parents were. DL followed each medical step precisely, carried the pregnancy to term, and delivered the baby safely. Then, just like that, she was pushed out of the spotlight. Here's where the tale plunges into shadow. A twist not just poking holes in the Sussex tale, but potentially toppling the sturdy pillars of royal legacy. Imagine May 2019. The Globe lit up with feel-good snapshots of a newborn cradled in royal arms, headlines buzzing with delight, and Harry and Meghan beaming about craving a private bubble away from the frenzy. Fans gushed over the couple's fresh take on parenthood, toasting their break from stuffy traditions. Yet DL paints a starkly different canvas. She swears Archie had already drawn breath for a full 2 weeks by the time those cameras clicked. No fresh-from-the-womb miracle, but a delayed debut in a web of whispers. Rewind the clock with her account, and the cracks glow bright. DL recalls a hushed delivery in a low-key Colorado hospital, sterile walls, no fanfare, just her laboring through the night while the world dozed unaware. The date? Mid-April, she insists, etched in her memory and backed by faded ultrasound printouts tucked in her files. Baby boy emerged healthy, tiny fists waving, handed off swiftly to clinic handlers under cover of night. No trumpets, no palace alerts, just a quiet handover. The child spirited away to parts unknown while DL recovered in isolation, sore and spent. Meanwhile, oceans away in London, the palace machine hummed with vague teases. Duchess in labor. Then boom, birth announced hours later, as if scripted for prime time. Reporters milled outside Portland Hospital, cameras hungry. But the show? Staged elsewhere, timelines tweaked to fit the fairy tale. Why the smoke and mirrors? DL pieces it like this: secrecy wasn't whimsy, it was survival. A surrogate birth screamed scandal in royal circles, where bloodlines trace back centuries on crisp parchment. Admitting help from science, or her, risked sidelining Archie from the golden line, titles dangling by a thread under UK's rigid rules. So they spun the yarn. Meghan as glowing Earth mother, Harry as doting dad, privacy their noble shield. But slip-ups piled high. That labor update flipped too fast, no gritty wait, just instant joy. Meghan emerged days later, poised in stilettos, makeup flawless, zero puffiness or wince of exhaustion. Postpartum glow, tabloids cooed, blind to the math. True birth leaves battle scars, not red carpet strut. DL chuckles bitterly now. She bore the stretch marks, the midnight feeds pre-handover, the raw ache no one saw. Dig deeper, and the cover-up unravels thread by thread. Flight logs DL squirreled away show private jets zipping from US soil around her due date, ghosts aligning with Sussex movements. Clinic notes, half redacted. List client alpha deposits spiking then. Palace whispers from back then? Insiders puzzled over the rush announcement, sensing off notes but shrugging it off as modern quirks. Fast forward. Archer's birth certificate, once listing Meghan crisp and clear, got mysteriously amended months later. No mom named, fueling fresh clerical shrugs. DL calls bluff. Her signature scrubbed everywhere, replaced by blanks to dodge DNA dives or lineage probes. If true, this wasn't quirky privacy. It was a blueprint for deception, propping a prince on shaky ground. The stakes? Monumental. Royal succession isn't pageantry. It's law, etched in acts from 1701 demanding legit heirs, no surrogacy shortcuts without fanfare disclosures. Hide DL, and Archer's spot wobbles. No verified maternal link means no automatic claim. Parliament peering in, titles yanked. Lilibet echoes the script, another home birth dodge, another timeline fudge. DL's dossier throbs with peril. Her hospital discharge, dated weeks early, emails begging owed cash post-delivery, even a nurse's scribbled note naming her in the delivery log. Public eyes dismissed oddities then. Meghan's yoga poise at 8 months, Harry's evasive grins, but DL spotlights the lie. A couple curating perfection, outsourcing the mess, then claiming the crown. Flash to today, and ripples spread wide. Palace suits huddle, combing docs for landmines. Harry's memoir ghosts hint at buried pains. But this? A nuke to his truth bomb brand. Meghan's empire, podcasts, deals, teeters as backers bolt, scenting fraud vibes. DL didn't seek spotlight. Betrayal shoved her there, years of ghosted pleas turning to fire. Her voice cracks recounting Archer's first cry, hers alone, while Meghan posed pristine. This dark pivot? It spotlights surrogacy's underbelly. Elite dreams built on forgotten women, NDAs as chains. No longer a quirky royal footnote, it's a seismic query. Was history forged in studios, not stirrups? If DL's truth holds, May 2019 wasn't birth. It was birth of a myth, one now cracking under its own weight, inviting the world to rewrite the royals' role. This means the widely reported moment, where the public was told Meghan had just gone into labor, was part of a carefully crafted timeline intended to conceal the real events. DL says she delivered Archie quietly in Colorado, away from cameras and chaos, with no royal photographers or public hospital drama, just a private birth followed by silence. Meanwhile, across the ocean, the palace issued vague updates saying Meghan had gone into labor, then quickly announcing Archer's birth minutes later. At the time, it seemed unusual, but no one questioned it, assuming the Sussexes simply wanted a more private experience. But DL reveals it wasn't privacy. It was a controlled narrative designed to show Meghan as the mother without revealing the actual medical birth scene. The oddest part is how Meghan appeared days later. Rested, healthy, standing tall in heels just 2 days after supposedly giving birth. People commented on how well she managed pregnancy, but DL's version suggests a different truth. Meghan hadn't endured labor at all. The public introduction of Archie was less a celebration and more a carefully staged event. If DL's claims hold true, then concealing the pregnancy wasn't just about managing photos or public perception, it extended deep into the official paperwork. And according to her, that's where the real secrecy began. DL insists her name is nowhere to be found on any medical records accessible to the public. DL's name is nowhere to be found on any official records connected to Archie, not on discharge papers, birth certificates, or any other documents. She says she was explicitly instructed, no trace of you can remain, not even a signature. This was all designed to keep the royal narrative spotless, ensuring Meghan appeared to fulfill the role expected of a royal mother flawlessly. Even the official papers that do exist raise questions. Several months after Archer's birth, Meghan's name mysteriously vanished from his birth certificate. At the time, this was dismissed by Meghan's spokesperson as a simple clerical error. But with DL's revelations, some insiders now suspect it was a deliberate move to hide inconsistencies from legal scrutiny. DL also reveals that the fertility clinic, the intermediary, and even the payment trail were arranged to keep her identity completely hidden. It wasn't just an emotional cutoff, she was erased legally, as if she had no part in the story at all. Yet, behind the scenes, DL held onto every piece of evidence, contracts, emails, medical bills. She trusted silence would be respected, that she would be fairly compensated, and that the system was reliable. But when she realized she was being replaced by a false story, she chose to break her silence. This decision started to unravel the entire narrative surrounding the royal births. On the surface, it might seem like a private dispute or a broken contract. However, what makes this story truly volatile is the matter of royal law. If Meghan did not physically give birth to Archie and Lilet, and if there was no official surrogacy disclosure under UK laws, the royal children's status becomes deeply complicated. Royal succession is not merely tradition, it is governed by legal requirements demanding clear, verifiable lineage. A secret surrogate disrupts this legal chain entirely. Insiders say the palace is quietly panicked, and for good reason. First, the children's royal titles could be legally challenged. If Meghan is not their legal mother, the children's place in the succession line could shift dramatically. Second, discrepancies between official documents and reality could open the door to accusations of fraud or misrepresentation against the royal family. Third, Parliament might have to get involved. Some members are already questioning why the births were never independently verified by neutral parties. Fourth, international records could be thrown into chaos, like Lilet's US birth registration if it lists inaccurate details about the mother. This goes far beyond wondering if Meghan carried the children. It's now about whether the monarchy, the public, and the whole line of succession were built on a crafted story rather than solid facts. Inside the palace, advisors are burning the midnight oil, with lawyers poring over every detail of the Sussex story. If DL goes public with her evidence, it won't just sting the royals, it could force a full rewrite of their history. As the buzz gets louder, Meghan Markle has gone eerily quiet. No events, no speeches, no glossy photo shoots, no podcasts, no staged outings, not even a quick statement. Former colleagues say she's hunkered down in a self-made lockdown. Hollywood insiders whisper that producers who once chased her for projects are now stepping back, politely, but with clear hesitation. It's not anger driving them. It's worry about getting caught in a royal meltdown. This hush feels out of character for Meghan, who's always been bold, vocal, and quick to shape her own story. Right now, though, the quiet seems more like a smart pause than a power play. She's watching closely, gauging the damage before picking her next step. People from her old media team put it bluntly, she's not choosing silence, circumstances are forcing it. If DL drops those documents, Meghan's response could define her entire public life. Meanwhile, as Meghan fades from view, Harry appears to be falling apart. Close friends say he's barely recognizable as the vibrant prince everyone once admired. The instant when quiet weighs more than any secret. Far away at Buckingham Palace, there's total stillness. No pushbacks, no nods, just the heavy hush of an ancient powerhouse steeling itself for a shake-up. Over in Montecito, the Sussex place feels just as strained and wordless. Meghan ducking the storm she senses rolling in. Harry wandering endless sleepless nights, murmuring lines no one dreamed a prince would say. DL stands right on history's doorstep, clutching papers that could reshape what born royal even means. If she steps up, folks won't just hear a hidden fact. They'll see a whole mirage shatter. This isn't chit-chat or whispers anymore. It's the core stuff: who you are, where you come from, what's real. The building blocks of the royal world itself. For years, everyone watched Meghan and Harry spin a tale of fresh romance, bold starts, and raw feelings. But now the veil's yanked aside. Behind it, no dream story, just a split. A split growing wider each day. If DL shines light on a proof, that split could flip royal history on its head. A point where the world wakes up. The slickest royal yarn of our time wasn't rooted in old ways or honesty, but in locked lips. The royals hold their breath, the crowd waits, the globe pauses. As the timer ticks, one fact stands tallest. When solid proof walks in, even the flashiest tricks start to wobble. And this one's about to.